There are so many exciting electric cars that are coming on the market. Tesla had improved their fleet as well, but somehow electric cars are still not selling. I'm going to go over the US sales report for electric cars in April, but also let's ask ourselves, is it just electric cars that are not selling, or it's just cars are not selling right now very well? Why? Why not? But these numbers are kind of telling, and there's some change in positions for different models and different manufacturers that I just kind of wanted to point out. All of this is coming up next.
Taking over the world, electrifying the world, E4 Electric!
Welcome to E4 Electric, your number one source of unbiased electric car news. If this is your first time here, go ahead and click on the subscribe button down there so you don't miss anything moving forward. And of course, thank you to all of my Patreons that support me on Patreon. Thank you so much, guys. Without you, this would have been a much tougher journey. If you want to become a part of that community and watch me live, go to this URL right there. It's also in the description of this video. Okay, let's talk about the sales numbers. As always, this is US only, and this is provided by Inside EVs. They put these together every month. Now, just so you know, it's not like manufacturers, all of them report those figures monthly. These guys actually put them together from different sources and different like VIN number registrations, stuff like that. And they're usually very accurate. I know there are more manufacturers that are going to stop reporting numbers monthly and they're going to go to quarterly, so this job is going to get even tougher for them. All right, so as you can see, I kind of had to manipulate it a little bit. They usually organize it by total sales per year, but I just wanted to organize it by sales in April, and just kind of wanted to just get the models out that we usually talk about and got rid of all the 530Es and all of that stuff. So as you can see, Model 3 is definitely still on top, like absolutely untouchable. As a matter of fact, all of them together have not sold as many EVs as Model 3, which is amazing. However, the sales went down in April again, and you know, it's around 10,000 a month. This is not bad. Still, let's just you know, Tesla numbers cannot grow all the time. This is something that Tesla kind of warned us against. There also maybe still some logistical issues with, you know, European and Chinese deliveries, but as the new factory opens up in China, looks like even maybe September, October, obviously those numbers will start going up. Now, overall numbers, don't forget, these are US numbers in general. The Chinese sales are not going to affect that. I don't see these numbers growing that much more. I think they're going to be steady at $10,000 for Tesla's Model 3. Now, what's disappointing, again, look at this. What's disappointing is Model X is still at around 1,000, which is less than half of what they saw last month. And all the way in the middle, Tesla Model S at 825, which is, I think, is less than 1/3 of what they sold last month. Now, obviously, we shouldn't be surprised because the model has been very outdated and they finally announced a refresh. So I'm assuming that also affected sales. Even before they announced the refresh, people kind of knew it was coming. But hey, there were still like 125 people who decided to take the plunge. Would love to talk to them, actually. And listen, good for Tesla still making sales of the Model S. You know, these numbers are still very tiny. Now, what I'm also want to point out is if you looked at the Hyundai Kona Electric. Now, it's been out for, now it's third month. It started with 16, all right, and then went to 127. I expected 300 or 400, to be honest with you, this month, and look, it's down to 77. It's my jersey number actually when I play hockey, but nevertheless, that's not a good number in this case. It's disappointing that they are not. I mean, we know they have a you know, supply issue with batteries, and we know they're just not really 100% behind this, even though this is an amazing car. I mean, people who buy these, they absolutely really happy. The deals on them are relatively good. They're still trying to sell them at, like, you know, MSRP and sometimes a little above, but the prices are going to come down, and that's really just, but if you're not selling them, why aren't you just anyway, disappointing. Now, another thing that I want to notice there is a new car on that list. Let me just quickly, before we get there, mention that this video on this channel is sponsored by Byton. Check out the all-electric SUV called Ambite. Check this out. It's an amazing looking inside and out. Only $45,000 scheduled to be here in the US and Europe at the end of the next year. Over 50,000 reservations around the world. You should get yours as well at byton.com, or in the description of this video, there's a link. It costs $0 and takes about 60 seconds. So you should get that as well, since it doesn't cost you anything at all. I have mine already. All right. The new kid on the block, as you can see all the way in the button there, is Kia Niro AV. The sales have started. They sold 40. Listen, it's a good start. I mean, oh, something's wrong with my video here. Boom, how about that? Now, when I did a test drive of this car in Santa Cruz, California, in the beginning of this year, I absolutely love this car. This is not a luxury car, but after all of the incentives and after all of the just discounts from the manufacturer and the lease, you can get these very at the very reasonable prices. And if I were you guys, I would, if you're looking to buy an all electric crossover SUV, this is a great one for the great price. I think you put down like $4,000 or $5,000, you can get it for like $250 a month. Don't quote me on that, but go get a quote from your local Kia dealer. Now, another thing that is, a lot of this is disappointing. Sorry, it just is. As you can see, the Chevy Bolt. Me and Tom from Inside EVs, from this publication that we do our segment every Friday, and we have one tomorrow for you guys about Electrify America. We were just raving about how Chevy Bolt was kicking butt, and then March sold over 2,000, and now they're back to selling. What is this new number? So tiny, I need my glasses to see. Here, I'll bring the full screen back. 910, under 1,000. That's of course disappointing. I keep saying this week after week after week. They just don't seem to be behind their sales. They once again lost a little bit of a battle with Ford there, where Ford made a deal with Rivian. So GM is once again left without a good technology that they can get behind, especially trying to get to that electric truck. They finally announced that they're going to do it. But why they're not selling a pretty damn good range of Bolt, I don't know. I know it's not a pretty car, but the technology there is still pretty damn good, even though it's been like, what, 3 or 4 years since they came out with that. All right, let's go back to the chart. All the way on the bottom here, you see nine Hyundai Ionic EVs were sold. Now, why bother, right, at this point? But there is good news, and I'm making a video about it separately, but there's a new Ionic is coming with a bigger battery and with a bigger range. Hopefully they keep the price the same. The look is definitely kind of the same, but hopefully that will boost the sales because yeah, I mean, I think if I start selling cars, I can probably sell 9. And they're probably not going to be very good, but I think 9 would be something that I can do. But yeah, so they need to do better than that. And of course, another disappointment here is that, if you look at Jaguar I-Pace, they sold 237, so they're essentially at around 200 cars being sold. Again, this is just US only. They are doing well in Norway and in Europe, but I just don't understand why they're not selling them here in the United States. I know I kind of really didn't like that car in the inside in the beginning, but now that I'm kind of looking at my choices and I'm backing off of e-tron, and I'm not really sure about Tesla, of course, this is actually not, and they're having some interesting sales as well. This is kind of getting back in play for me. I hated the little wheel there. So it's kind of back in play for me, and maybe I'll be one of those 200 people who buy them on one of these months. So we'll see. Let me know what you guys think about me getting this one. Now, listen, I know the sales numbers are not good. As a matter of fact, for April, they're definitely not good. But just so you know, there are reports all over the place that car sales in the US are down almost for everybody. And the ones that are up from the previous month, they're still down compared to April of the previous year. So this is not something particular for EVs. Overall, the car sales are down. But however, these are supposed to grow, right? A month of a month of a month, regardless of what's happening overall. These cars are amazing, and all in their different ways. I mean, obviously Teslas, but there are a lot of people find values either in great deals just money savings, or some of the things that they need in their cars that Tesla cannot offer at this point, like for example an all-electric crossover SUV with over 200-mile range. And yet it is I'm a little baffled here. So let me know what you guys think, if this is something that I'm gonna just look for your comments and see if you guys maybe have a better idea than I do. Don't forget to get on our VIP list at e4electric.com/VIP. I want to thank my one of my newer patrons, Chen Friedman. Thank you so much for becoming one of my patrons. As I mentioned at the beginning of the show, you guys definitely make a huge difference in me being able to do this as an independent channel. So if you want, and it really, you can contribute only as low as $1 a month, and it's good. Just go to patreon.com/e4electric. But very thankful to all of you guys, and of course you can watch me live, so that's one of the perks. All right, looking forward to your comments. Other than that, see you next time, and remember, stay charged.